The beginning. Sophie had always been a happy-go-lucky person. She loved life and was always eager to try new things. But as she entered her teenage years, she started to feel overwhelmed by everything around her. She would often feel anxious, restless, and even depressed at times. She tried to brush it off, thinking it was just a phase that would pass, but it only got worse. Denial. Sophie was in denial about her mental health issues. She refused to acknowledge that something was wrong and tried to convince herself that she was just going through a rough patch. She thought that if she ignored her problems, they would eventually disappear. The breaking point. One day, Sophie hit rock bottom. She had a panic attack in school and couldn't stop crying. That's when she realized that she couldn't keep ignoring her mental health issues. She needed help. The first step. She later on made an appointment with her school counselor, Mrs. Amber. She was hesitant at first, but she knew she had to take the first step towards getting better. The counselor listened to her problems and suggested she see a therapist. Therapy? Sophie was nervous about going to therapy. She wasn't sure what to expect, but she knew she needed to talk to someone about what she was feeling. Her therapist, Mr. Snow, was kind and understanding, and she felt comfortable opening up to him. Diagnosis. Mr. Snow diagnosed her with anxiety and depression. It was a relief for Sophie to finally have a name for what she was feeling. She realized that she wasn't alone and that there was a way to get better. Medication. Mr. Snow suggested that she try medication to help manage her symptoms. Sophie was hesitant at first, but she decided to give it a try. She noticed a significant improvement in her mood and was able to function better. Support system. Sophie realized that she needed a support system to help her through her journey towards recovery. She started talking to her family and friends about her mental health issues, and they were all supportive and understanding. Coping mechanism. Sophie learned different coping mechanisms to help her manage her anxiety and depression. She started practicing mindfulness, journaling, and breathing exercises. She also found that exercise helped improve her mood. Triggers. Sophie learned to identify her triggers, which helped her avoid situations that could potentially trigger her anxiety or depression. She also learned to manage her expectations and not put too much pressure on herself. Setbacks. Sophie experienced setbacks along the way. There were days when she felt like she was back to square one, but she learned to be kind to herself and not beat herself up over it. She knew that recovery was not linear and that setbacks were a part of the process. Self-care. Sophie realized the importance of self-care in managing her mental health. She started taking time for herself and doing things she enjoyed. She made sure to prioritize her mental health and not neglect it. Stigma. Sophie realized that there was a stigma surrounding mental health issues. She wanted to break the stigma and raise awareness about mental health. She started talking to her peers about her experience and encouraged them to seek help if they needed it. Therapy sessions. Sophie continued going to therapy sessions. She found that it helped her process her emotions and work through her issues. She also learned to communicate better and set healthy boundaries in her relationships. Sophie was excited about the future. The future. Sophie was excited about the future. She felt like she had a better understanding of herself and her mental health. She had learned valuable tools and techniques to manage her anxiety and depression, and she was determined to continue her journey towards recovery. Building resilience. Sophie focused on building resilience. She learned to challenge negative thoughts and replace them with positive ones. She practiced self-compassion and learned to be kinder to herself. She also surrounded herself with positive influences and engaged in activities that brought her joy. Pursuing passion. Sophie discovered that pursuing her passions helped her immensely in maintaining her mental well-being. She loved writing, so she started a blog where she shared her experiences and insights about mental health. She also joined a local art class and found solace in expressing herself through art. Supportive relationships. Sophie's support system played a crucial role in her recovery. She leaned on her family and friends during tough times, and they were always there to lend a listening ear or offer a helping hand. She also formed new friendships with people who understood and accepted her mental health journey without judgment. Advocacy. Inspired by her own experiences, Sophie became an advocate for mental health awareness. She volunteered at local mental health organizations, participated in mental health campaigns, and shared her story in schools and communities. She found purpose in helping others and spreading awareness to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health. Thriving. Years passed, and Sophie's mental health improved significantly. She learned to manage her anxiety and depression effectively, and she was proud of the progress she had made. She pursued her studies and career with renewed vigor, and her relationships blossomed. She still had occasional challenges, but she had developed a strong resilience and coping skills that helped her navigate through them. Sophie looked back at her journey with a sense of accomplishment. She had come a long way from the denial and struggles of her teenage years. She was now a confident and resilient young woman who was not afraid to prioritize her mental health. She continued to advocate for mental health awareness, helping others who were going through similar challenges. She knew that her mental health journey was ongoing, but she was determined to keep taking care of herself and living a fulfilling life. Sophie's story was a testament to the fact that with proper support, self-care, and determination, it was possible to overcome mental health challenges and thrive. The end.